Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're back in the garage again today, and we're working on a shifter install. Got this standard short throw shifter from MGW, as well as their hammer shift knob for the Mustang. I don't really like how that Hurst shifter, it wobbles. It wobbles a little bit. It's very notchy, so I'm hoping this will make it a little bit more enjoyable to drive, especially on the track. Let's get started on the install. So far, first impressions, everything's assembled, which is nice. It's really well packaged. Looks like we get a sticker and all the other items and goodies we need here. Some Dynamat, and the shift knob is just massively heavy. I also picked up another transmission mount just in case I get in there and it looks bad. We've got the car up on ramps. I probably need to lift it up a little bit more, but let's just take a look at the inside first. All right, so we're in the car. Redline Goods boots. So first step is we gotta take the knob off. It's pretty simple on these Hurst. It's just a spin off, and then we pop the boot out. There we go. And I'm gonna have to probably cut this zip tie I use for the slotted. Yes, I need to get a tool to cut this. And then we're essentially disconnecting and dropping down from the inside. I think I can get away without having to pull this centerpiece off. Otherwise, you just pull these ends off and you can unbolt this. So it's looking like I need to pull this trim piece out, which is fine. I've got some bolts back here. You probably got screws. So you pull these out and then you can lift this whole top piece off and get you more access. And on my car, these are 7mm. Just pull them on out by hand here. It's into plastic, so it's not really tight. There we go. Just gonna lift it up and separate. There we go. Pull it up over the e-brake. Go ahead and get this broken loose. It's just held in there pretty stoutly. And then yeah, just pull your e-brake handle up and maneuver it off the top. Oh, a little hard to do this holding the phone at the same time, but we'll get it. There we go. So now you've got full access to everything you need in here. Pulled the Hurst boot out, and now I got to go underneath and disconnect the linkage arm and then the back 10 mils.
It was tough to get a good filming angle from underneath the vehicle, so let's actually look at the shifter that's pulled out. At the back, you're going to have to pull that bracket off. It's 210mm. Be very careful. Then in the middle, it's a 13mm nut that comes off a stud and a linkage arm that goes forward. And then at the very front, there's a 13 as well you pull off. Now we'll go back to the video and show you actually underneath the car. You can see here the shifter's still in there, but it's loosely mounted. I've pulled the front bolt. Be careful not to trap your wrench. And now I can come up top and actually pull the shifter out from the very top side. But it's all loose here, everything's removed. Let's go back up top. The new shifter's set in here, and one key is when you're pulling the shifters in and out is you want to come in at almost a flat angle with the front and then set the back down. That space there with those bushings is why my shifter rocks side to side, so we'll fix that here.
A lot of the slop is this as well. They got an aftermarket replacement. It's like a factory style. Yeah, this is just moving around, wobbling everywhere. This piece is. Yeah, here's that old one. It's all blown out and wrecked, so I'll clean this up and toss a new one in. That's a lot of my vague shifting feel as well.
So here I bought a steel insert from Lowe's that doesn't quite fit, and I'm going to just use a unibit and over drill it and put it on both sides. And there we are, we can see the bushings in place. and it's locked in there, and we just gotta put the bracket back on there. So we use the front bolt, put a little lock washer on there, it comes in the kit, and they want you to just put a little bit of blue Loctite on here. And pretty simple to install, just showing you how to do this here. It's harder to hold this with one hand and put the gel on it. Once you've Loctite it, you want to slide it into place in the transmission and just fasten it down. Make sure you can go by hand, like I'm doing here, and then you can actually just tighten it down with your wrench and ratchet it into place, and you're set. You want to make it just a little bit loose to get everything in and then torque it up. So now we're onto the car again, and we are sliding that back support piece in over those two 10mm studs. Now when you watch the instructions, you want to make sure that the flat plate goes the correct direction. Make sure everything lines up, and then you just kind of push it into place. There will be a lot of adjustability here, so just take your time. That's why you start with the front bolt, to make sure that everything's lined. So here you can see I got it seated on the studs, and then we'll just have to get the correct washers to put into place, and nuts, of course. There's your final product with the nut and washer in place. Sorry on the bad angle here, but this is the final step of the shifter install. I haven't called out, but notice the transmission mount is out of the place and pushed back, but I'm tightening up that 13mm nut or so that connects the shift linkage that sits on the transmission to the shifter assembly. And you just want to tighten this up. Once this is done, you can actually go back and snug down the 10mm in the back, and then that front bolt as well. Now, do not over torque anything. You don't want to break anything, but pretty simple here. Just a bad camera angle. You can see I'm struggling with the wrench, figuring out how to get in there, and I think this is the final way to get it. Notice I got a bottle jack supporting the transmission. Now the transmission mount's pretty easy. Make sure that one long bolt engages and put the bolts in place, all four, then tighten it down. I also had to put my drive shaft safety loop into place, then torque it all down when you're done. Nearing the home stretch, next step is to install this rubber boot. Take your time. Then we install the sound deadening. Again, just take your time getting it into place. Next step is to snap this back down. Again, just put it over the e-brake. Make sure you put those two bolts into place. Now you're ready to thread the rod into place. Put the grommet in. Get that ready to go. Of course, you're going to want to put the shifter in, the shift boot in, and connect it to the grommet right there. I use a zip tie, because once you put that on top of the shaft, then you will need to put your shifter in. Shift knobs installed. Now they retain it with a little brass ball that fits into there with a screw. What I ended up doing is taking the shift knob back out to actually make it fit, and putting the brass ball in there with the shift retainer screw, and then putting it down into place. Final product.
All right, so we're out driving. It's definitely a lot more firm of a engagement now, and more direct, especially with the spacing. It's very easy to engage gears and shifts. So I'm going to say that this is a big win. Autocross tomorrow, so I'm going to make a couple tuning hits on this car and then put it up on the trailer, so I'm ready to go. Wife's birthday, so we're going to go out for dinner and a comedy show tonight, so I won't have too much time to play in the garage. But yeah, so far 2 thumbs up. I will give a update if it changes in the comments, but thanks for watching.